snitch. Lord knows I ain't sitting a homie on no dummy.
Rest in peace, Pookie Loc never snitched. Like, these guys are stupid. They put everything in music. Like, why did that have to go into a rap song? Why? Why did you need that? Now, you talking like that, you being labeled a rat, you being labeled a snitch. Those lyrics end up having Gucci Mane doing this.
I'm the defense attorney telling him how to write out the sentence.
That's the wrong show. You know, the one who makes it go really cold.
Yeah.
Mr. Hudson, Mr. Finley, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is the case of State of Georgia versus Radrick Davis. My name is Jesse Law. Mr. Davis, you...
It states the same thing. Just based on what the criminal history of Mr. Davis, we must ask for a little.
I asked him and confirmed that there was no attempt to serve him at a studio, at a residence. Accordingly, it was confirmed there was no holds. Contacted fugitive, knowing from doing this for a while, of information about my client. I do want to say that I have a community service letter from somebody with the Atlanta Public Schools that I'll tender, I'll show to counsel, I'll tender to Your Honor, if I can approach.
Sure.
The excessive amount, whatever that is, we're just asking that the bond, their bond be set. I never asked for an amount. That's not my job. My job is to ask for bond. The conditions I leave in the courts, with the court's discretion.
Okay. Well, in the exercise of my discretion, I understand your position, Mr. Finley, but this gentleman does have a aggravated battery.
Now, there was always rumors and speculation swirling around him being a rat. Everybody was saying, like, how can he come out saying he was the snowman? He was affiliated with all this, selling all these stones all over the, up and down the East Coast. He moving, he's moving the white, right? He telling you how he whip it up in the pot. He got the gem stars. He can tell you how he open up a stone, cross here, take it out, put it on the newspaper, right? You got your scale, you pick it up. Matter of fact, you take it out right? Because remember, they got when you take the tape off and you got the rubber, the rubber over it, right? You gotta cut right through the tape and that black rubber, and then the little taping that's under it. Cut right through, right? And then you cut through the other way. You open it up, right? You take it out. You take it out and you place it on the newspaper, or you place it right onto the scale. He breaking all that stuff down, right? Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I blacked out a little bit. I'm reformed. I'm past all them days. I'm back on my FBA Cuban side. I'm my bad. But it was an FBA. It was an FBI. I said FBI. It was an FBI agent that actually came out. A week ago. And, basically broke down what they was uncovering years ago. And it went like this.
I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's pretty famous. And to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos, and that's where it got interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting. One of the attackers gets hit, makes it about 200 yards away from the house before he drops dead. Rapper number two is arrested for murder, but is dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the violent act that got his man killed. I had the phone records and two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid RICO murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one went on to have a phenomenally successful career. Oh well, win some, lose some.
Now, this federal agent, he's not saying no names, but we all know who he's talking about, right? He's saying that they had basically a rock solid case of RICO charge and basically RICO murder. He was supposed to be brought up for RICO murder. They were saying that he ordered the hit. These guys, they had that song So Icy, him and Gucci. Back in the back in the 2000s, right? That was the jam too. I'm up from the East Coast, so I got on to that a little later, right? But that was a big anthem in the South, right? And they was talking about how icy they was, the money that they had and all this kind of stuff, right? And the feds was on Jeezy for a while. Now, Jeezy got videos where he's saying he running a Fortune 500 company when he was like 19, from like 19 and like 21. He was funding his own studio sessions because he was getting money in the streets. The feds had all this. Now, why wasn't he ever charged with something? I don't know. And that federal agents is saying, like, listen, this thing came from up top. It told me to stand down, be quiet. And then he went on to have a phenomenal career after that. Go figure, right? But Blue Da Vinci, he broke down, BMF from the start to the finish. And they asked, was Jeezy in the paperwork? And he said this.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is public information. You can look up right now on your phone. Man testifies about Jeezy's cocaine selling. Type in your phone something like that. You're going to see one of the who name it lights. Ralph Sims, the same that told about the limo that tried to say I told. Ralph Sims, Ralphie. Told on Jeezy, told everything Jeezy ever did. Jeezy had like 12. Jeezy had more statements on him than me.
Were you allowed to hand out bricks? No. Do you remember in those 1 or 2 times where J-Bo or Tito or someone told you to hand bricks to someone, who those people were? Yes. Who? One of them was Doc or B.I. Doc, did you say who the other one was, or you do not remember? Yes, Jeezy. Jeezy? Yes. We've heard some in this trial about a possible musician named Young Jeezy. Are you referring to the same person? Yes.
But no, he didn't get indicted because he did some more. I feel like I know some things he did. Like he turned Meech cars into the feds. That same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about a while before he came to Miami and doing some lie detector tests about this gun case he caught one year in 06 when I went to go meet him. We had a shootout, not against him, but some other, like when me and him start trying to talk, some other popped it off with us and we ended up having a shootout and he ended up going to jail for a gun. If anybody is familiar with that Miami case, him and Twin came back to do a polygraph test supposed to be for that shit. And the security said that the Meech cars pulled up on flatbeds, nigga, into the federal building when he went and did it, when he was inside for his meeting or whatever. So I know he turned in the cars. Ain't no telling what people be doing, bro. That's all I know he did. And then he told about the gun case that was already thrown out at the state level, and then the feds picked it back up. So everybody look up Big House. You look up Big House. He was a security for Jay-Z. He was a security for Big Meech. He was also security for Young Jeezy. Yeah, Jeezy put the people on his ass, and he'll let you know. You look him up, he talking his story, and you got all these people with these accounts of these people that's out here. Sorry, y'all, I just be the bearer of bad news because 10 years go by and people act like they ain't never heard nothing, don't know nothing. Like, hold on, the selective politics shit got to stop.
We came from like him coming to the house and chilling, borrowing the whips and borrowing cars and getting work from the homie, and you know what I'm saying, from that to him like he'll beat spots and we want to pull up and he curve us. You feel me? Def Jam, at that point, Def Jam was scarred. They didn't want no more people that coming through their offices that can potentially they get, caught up with the feds with. So they was pressuring Jeezy. I didn't know at the time. I'm on my, man, we done gave this dude money and I produced the records and he ain't clearing them, f*** him. But I can say he got away from us as far as like, at that point when he started rolling, his career started going like this, he was told to not affiliate with us like that. You know what I'm saying? He was told that.
I pushed the record out. It was on Koch. It was getting promoted and all. It was getting promoted correctly. All the numbers was right. I was like 300 and some spins a week on my BDS at the time. And I got a call from my team. It was like, bro, they talking about, it was like a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday if I am mistaken. I was on the road on my tour bus. And I got a call from my team and they said that on Thursday in 2 days, they going to pull the record from radio if they don't get Jeezy and CTE signature. They wasn't signed off for the record. So I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, hold on, bro. Let me call this and blah, blah, blah. So I called it. And this wasn't the first time I called them about that. It was already mentioned before they dropped the shit. So they dropped it and we still didn't have the signatures. And I think it was dropped on good faith that we was going to get the signatures from Alan Grunblatt at Koch. They got the shit. They worked it out with Clear Channel or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? So the record could stay up there and they was telling them they gonna have the paperwork or however it went. But them motherfuckers, I called Jeezy, he swear up and down to God in heaven, he signed off and all this shit. But I had my signature, then my signature for BMF Entertainment as the owner. Then we had Alan Nim's signature from Koch. Then we had John Jackson, which is Fabulous name as an individual, Fabulous the artist. Then we had Skane and Clue for Desert Storm was signed off. I had those signatures. I saw them with my eyes. Then I think I had, at this time was Jay Brown's signature from Def Jam. He was the vice president of Def Jam at that time. I believe his signature was on my record for Def Jam. They had talks on like, bro, where you at? I'm just gonna pull up. I left my tour route and drove the bus all the way to Miami to go have a conversation with Jeezy about the record being signed off. And that's when that shootout happened that I was just talking about previously. I went to talk to him about that record. That's what the conversation was about. I was coming to meet him and confront him about the shit with all the this shit with me. And as soon as we start talking, Tula was walking down the street with dreads, and they're like, oh shit, there go Jeezy, dog. And they're like, oh, and Blue, that's Jeezy and Blue, nigga, that's BMF right there, nigga. Oh, bro, let us get a picture. And then my little cousin twin, big twin, he like, oh, nigga, they ain't taking no picture. You see they trying to talk. So the little like, well, and then the twin fired him, boom. And that's what started that shit that ended up to the shootout. And me and him never talked about the record right there because that fight turned into a shootout, turned into we all ran, turned into Jeezy got locked up for the gun. And then later on, Jeezy went back to have a polygraph test about that situation. That was all about that day I went to meet him to talk about why he didn't sign off on my record with me, him, and Jeezy, and they pulled it from the radio. And I believe he couldn't because the feds had jacked him and told him, nigga, if you help these niggas, and the same reason why he couldn't do the deal with us. Same reason why he couldn't put his name on the contract, because the contract ensues help to BMF, and they struck his ass down and told him they were gonna put your ass in prison.
I just grew up from there to like taking over all these surrounding counties. So anybody that know me, like we going down now, anybody that know me from that era can tell you, like I ran, 10, 15, 20 counties around me as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like a real operation. My aunties and uncles and cousins, everybody know this. Like it was like a family business. Like I ran all these counties and I grew from that to, damn near taking over Georgia. And I moved from that to South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee. So I was really running a Fortune 500 company at, 19, 20, 21.
Young people, I tell you guys all the time, the streets is a myth and it's not what you think it is. When you rolling, it's all fun and games, man. It's all fun and games. You know what I notice as I get older now at 50? When, back in the day, you got 100 stones on the table and you say, yo, we gonna move this work. You get a whole lot of brothers, man, to roll with you, man. You got women today, that's moms. They act like they saved, sanctified, and delivered. Well, they was out there getting pounded out by 2 and 3 dudes at a time because that money was there, right? It was just a whole bunch of stuff running wild. You get a whole bunch of people to be a part of that. But when you get legal money, and you say, yo, let's co-op and buy this property. Oh, I don't know about that, man. I don't trust them dudes. I ain't doing that. It's easy to get into the game. It's easy to get out there in the streets and do street stuff because it's like you trust people to do street stuff, but you don't trust people to do legal stuff. And why are you saying all this, George? Because what I try to teach, man, in these type of stories, what can you learn from this, right? It looked good. Like he made all kinds of songs talking about the dope game and being a dope boy and all that kind of stuff. But what did it get? I mean, in the long run, look what it could have got him. He got out at the right time when he started bubbling and his music started flourishing. He got out and he separated himself from BMF because he knew what was coming. Right now, things that he says in that song "Illusion," like he already had money. Because remember, he doing interviews where he's saying he running all these counties. Right? He got all these counties on lockdown. Now, I don't know how he was able to have all these counties on lockdown when the feds is coming in and indict, because BMF wasn't the only people that got indicted in Atlanta. There was a whole bunch of people that was in Atlanta that got indicted. Atlanta was popping before BMF got there. They wasn't the only show in town, right? And you had not just Atlanta, you had all that whole area, man, from Memphis to Texas, right, through Alabama. People was moving stones. All through those places, man. From Texas, coming up from Mexico through Texas, through all those different places, through Florida. So he wasn't the only one that got, that was getting money. But for some reason, he was able to get out the game, go into the rap music, become a rapper, and make all these lyrics about selling cocaine. And get away unscathed when he was connected to these people and even on video saying what he did. Young people, listen to me. It's always going to be somebody close to you that's going to tell, that's going to give up statements, that's going to say, hey, listen, we don't really want you. We want the guys you affiliated with. Give us something tasty. Give us something salacious, right? So now you got an FBI agent coming out and saying that, yo, we had this guy dead at the center, right? We had him in the RICO and murder. So this is the thing. If the FBI agent is saying we had this guy do a RICO and murder, when he was down in interrogation, because he was never charged, what did they ask him? Or did they have to ask him anything before he understood, man, I got a whole rap career coming, man. I ain't going to jail with these niggas. Man, I'm going to say what I need to say, man, to get up on out this joint, man. To hell with this. I ain't rolling with these dudes. Blue Da Vinci says that he meets him in Miami to get him to sign some papers or to get him where he can get his song out. And while they down there, they get into a shootout where he already trying to get away from these dudes because he rolling with Def Jam. He got things popping. He don't want to be nowhere near affiliated with you guys, man, because y'all got too much going on. Y'all getting the shootouts, right? It's bodies dropping. Y'all knowing you selling work and flossing everywhere. So I'm telling you, man, listen. Those days, back in those days, it was all good until it wasn't good no more. It was all good until it wasn't good no more. A lot of us got PTSD. That's why I'm married. My children live in the house with me. I'm good. I'm good. Them days, man, I can tell you all kinds of stories. Especially being African American and Cuban. I can tell you all kinds of stories, man. You know what I'm saying? But today, I got my own properties. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a civilian. I'm out the way. I don't even make that kind of content talking about that stuff because for me, I don't want to be remembered as that. That's why I wear shirts that say nerds over niggas. I don't want to be remembered. I don't want to be remembered for that. I don't want any people to even know me for that. I want you to know me for being a husband, a father, all those things. I don't want to be known for that. That stuff is none of your business. It's none of your business. Because just like what they're trying to do to Jeezy now, 20-something years later, they could do that to me or anybody else. So why even put that stuff out there? There ain't nobody else's business but the people that was connected to it that know the story. It's nobody else's business, man. So I don't know, man. You know, the FBI, people is picking up steam. The internet is running with it, man, and it's getting legs. So we'll see how this play out. If more people come out and corroborate the FBI story, if you have people that's actually affiliated with BMF to come out and corroborate his story, man, you know, it is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.